last couple days of baseball rumors have been a little bit boring. A Giancarlo Stanton rumor came out, and that was a lot of fun to talk about. But over the last 48 to 72 hours, nothing. Oh my God, here's one. It is being reported that the Yankees are now shopping superstar offensive player, or at least sporadically superstar offensive player Gary Sanchez. He is officially on the market, and this rumor is so real that even Michael Kay is talking about that. If you don't know who Michael Kay is, he is one of the announcers for the Yes Network. He's on every single game if it's a home game, so he is the real deal, and he thought it was convincing enough that he wanted to speak on it as well. So the Kraken, Gary, Scary Gary, is officially on the market, I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and break down what the Yankees are going to do with him going forward, because they have one plan in place. A future Hall of Famer might be taking Gary Sanchez's spot, and we'll talk about it. But actually, real quick, I do want to bring up another New York team, the New York Mets, because yesterday, or 2 days ago actually, the Mets posted a picture of a graphic of their owner saying that you don't buy a future, you build it. And they left out one specific player, Amed Rosario. What did Rosario do in return? He removed everything Mets related from his Instagram. So I want to ask you guys a question. Is this the first domino to fall in the Francisco Lindor sweepstakes? Do you think that Rosario to the Indians just makes sense, and then in return, Francisco Lindor would be there for 2021? He would re-sign for a 6-7 year mega contract. But that kind of goes against what he just said. We don't invest, we build. So I don't know how that's going to work, but I wanted to go ahead and show you guys the craziness and the drama surrounding the Mets, because Amed Rosario, I don't know if it's just petty, but he doesn't seem happy. All right, so now we'll focus on the Yankees real quick and the Gary Sanchez trade scenario, because if we go back the last couple seasons, what has been their biggest issue? The Yankees continue to strike out at historic paces. If we take a look at Gary Sanchez in 2020, he struck out 36% of the time. That is awful. Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, they struck out 28% of the time. Luke Voit and Kyle Higashioka, they were at 26%. Also, a side note on Kyle, he has 0 walks in his last 34 games, so he is not good in terms of getting on base unless it's a home run, the rare occasion home run. So I'm not sure if he is going to be the option going forward. And then Gleyber Torres, he's sitting at 22%. So striking out is the biggest issue for the Yankees going forward, and they have to address it. How are they going to do that? I think you have to re-sign DJ LeMahieu. He shows up every single day. He does his job. I don't even know if I've ever heard the guy speak. He's a robot. He cares so much about the game of baseball and being his best self. He represents the city of New York and the Yankees almost as well as Derek Jeter. He wants to win, he wants to play well, and that's it. He doesn't strike out. Colton Wong, I've said this before, he doesn't strike out either, and he plays great defense. Two things that the Yankees are looking for. And then last but not least, the final piece to the puzzle in hopefully getting rid of Gary Sanchez is getting Francisco Lindor in that lineup as well. Those three guys that I mentioned, LeMahieu, Wong, and Lindor, for their career, they strike out less than 16% of the time. That is less than pretty much a majority of the Yankees lineup. And that would instantly make the Yankees better on defense and in terms of driving people in when they're on base. I also saw a lot of people saying that the Yankees should sign James McCann of the White Sox. Don't get me wrong, he's been great offensively the last 2 seasons, but he strikes out 27 to 30% of the time. That's not fixing the problem. Or what they could do is, hear me out, they could start with trading Gary Sanchez, so automatically you get rid of a massive strikeout problem, and you sign Hall of Fame, future Hall of Famer I should say, catcher Yadier Molina. I know that he was not great offensively in 2020, but neither was Gary Sanchez. And Gary Sanchez, honestly, defensively, he's all right, but I think that he would be better served as a DH for a different team. That's just my opinion. But in Yadier Molina, you would get a 2-time World Series champion, a 9-time Gold Glover, a 4-time Platinum Glove winner, or maybe he's 2-time. I'm pretty sure it's 4, but it could be 2. And on top of that, Yadier Molina for his career only strikes out 10.3% 90% of the time. A 10.3 K percentage is insane. His vision is historic. So I know the power numbers would not be as great, but that's why you have Gleyber Torres, Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge. If you get Francisco Lindor, Colton Wong, and re-sign DJ LeMahieu, they're still going to hit a few home runs. But now you're getting guys that are better with runners in scoring position, and especially with Yadier Molina, because even though his power numbers were down, Yadier Molina had an 809 OPS with men on back in 2020. Gary Sanchez had a 634 OPS. He was below average when people were on base. If you're a Yankees fan, watching Gary Sanchez play baseball has to be the most frustrating thing ever. Now, unfortunately, what you would lose is one of the best power hitters ever. If we look at Gary Sanchez and his home runs per at bat, he hits a home run every 13.4 ABs. That is the best for any catcher ever. That's better than Johnny Bench. That's better than Mike Piazza. Prolifically speaking, Gary Sanchez is your guy, but you cannot continue to think that you can win when you have 7 different guys that strike out 150 to 180, maybe even 200 times a season. You cannot get the job done. The Yankees will not win a World Series with Gary Sanchez as their catcher. That is my opinion. If you agree or disagree, please let me know in the comment section down below. I think that making those choices, they're going to be tough, but once you re-sign DJ, he'll be expensive, but he's worth it 1,000,000%. Maybe Colton Wong, because he plays great defense, doesn't strike out, and the same goes for Francisco Lindor, but he brings an energy to the team. And if you get Yadier Molina in that lineup, sure, you're not going to be the best offensively, but as an overall group, I think that he's going to help Clark Schmidt, who is an up-and-coming top prospect, Deivi Garcia. I think he's going to do wonders for those guys, as well as build relationships with Garrett Cole. You're going to have Luis Severino coming back, maybe Domingo Germán, because he had a mental breakdown, but now he's trying to get back into the game of baseball. They could push for a World Series in the next few years if they can get better defensively and not strike out 1,000 times a season. It's just never going to work out. So please let me know in the comment section down below, what is your perspective? If you're a Yankees fan, please let me know what's going on in your brain. Again, this all kind of surrounds the idea of if DJ is staying or leaving, because if DJ leaves, they're going to need more offense in their lineup, so they'll probably hold on to Gary Sanchez. But Yadier Molina, I know he's old, but you need someone that is both a leader, pretty decent defensively. I know he's gotten a little worse as he's aged, but that's just Mother Nature doing its thing. And then we have the strikeout issue. He will correct that. And also, Molina, even though he had a down offensive season, he was great in the clutch when men were on base. So that is pretty much it. All of the Gary Sanchez trade rumors in a nutshell. What I want to do quickly to end the video is talk about how the Padres and Mike Clevinger are discussing a 2-year extension. And will that be enough to snag the services of Trevor Bauer? We all know that Mike Clevinger and Trevor Bauer are great friends. I've seen it in person. Their rapport is so awesome. They could talk about anything for hours. Clevinger has a great personality. Bauer can kind of match it, but a little bit more, analytical and a little bit more commonsensical, if that's a word. Bauer, Lamet, Clevinger, you have Paddock, you have Davies, all of the guys in the San Diego Padres rotation, that would be fearsome. So speaking of Bauer and the rest of the free agents, leave a like on the video if you want to see a full video where we break down every single free agent and try to predict the best fit for them and where they might go. Maybe 1,000 likes and we'll do it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm hoping that Gary Sanchez or Lindor or LeMahieu, I'm hoping that they figure out something soon so I can report on it, because the rumors are awesome, but I need some action. Stay safe out there, guys, and peace out. Yes, I shaved. I failed No Shave November. I'm sorry. It just looked gross.
With the Cardinals, you really think he's going to leave, or are they just playing games? But I think the biggest part of this story is that they're listening to offers for Sanchez. And from what I know, if they had put Sanchez in the deal 2 years ago to Real Muto, he would have gone, the Marlins would have traded him to the Yankees and not the Phillies.